Go find the jewelry box you had in high school. Not your grandmother's, yours. The one with the tangled chains from the mall, the charm bracelet from a birthday, the earrings you wore to prom and never touched again. Somewhere in that box, there is a decent chance you are looking at a name that collectors have quietly started hunting right now in 2026. Because the stuff you wore 20 years ago as throwaway fashion just crossed the line into collectible, and almost nobody who owns it has noticed yet. Here's why the timing matters. Costume jewelry gets interesting to collectors on a clock, and the clock runs about 20 to 25 years. That is exactly how long it takes for a decade to stop being dated and start being nostalgic. Right now, the hashtag for Y2K style has passed 21 billion views. Searches for 2000s jewelry have jumped thousands of % in 2 years. The generation that actually wore this stuff has grown up and has money now, and a younger one is discovering it like buried treasure. That collision is what turns a $2 earring into a $200 earring, and it is happening this year, not someday. But here is the honest part, and I'm going to say it up front because this channel does not sell fairy tales. This is not the Chanel and Trifari market where the price is already settled and everybody knows the numbers. The 90s and 2000s market is early. Some of these names are already serious money, and some are just starting to move. That is not a weakness. That is the entire opportunity. The smart move is learning these 8 names before the rest of the internet finishes catching up. So build one habit for the next 15 minutes, the same one that runs through every video on this channel. Flip the piece over, read the back. Everything you own lives or dies on the name stamped into it. Let us count them down, from the ones hiding in every American jewelry box to the crown that can rewrite your week. Number 8. Betsey Johnson. We start easy, with the name almost everyone reading this already owns, Betsey Johnson. Through the late 90s and into the 2000s, she was the queen of maximalism, back when the whole world was doing minimal. Enamel critters, rhinestone hearts, winking skulls, candy colors, little dangling charms on everything. If a piece looked like it had too much going on, that was the point. Be honest about what you are holding here. Most of it is plated base metal with crystals and enamel. This is not precious material, and I am not going to pretend it is. A lot of Betsey Johnson trades today for $20 to $100, and plenty of it stays at the low end of that range. This is not where you retire. So why does she open the list? Because Betsey is where you train your eye for free. The market is real, the collector interest is real, and the pattern that runs through this entire video shows up here in miniature. The rare, weird, complete pieces climb. The common ones do not. A signed statement necklace in perfect condition with every rhinestone still in it pulls real money. A single scuffed earring pulls pocket change. Same designer, completely different number, and the only thing separating them is condition and rarity. Learn to feel that difference on a $20 Betsey piece, and you will read every other name on this list correctly. Turn it over. If the flamboyant enamel thing you are about to donate says Betsey Johnson on the back, it is not trash. It is a lesson. Number 7. Return to Tiffany. Number 7 is the one hiding in plain sight, and it is going to hit close to home for a lot of you. Tiffany silver from the Return to Tiffany era. The heart tag bracelet, the oval tag necklace, that specific blue box that meant something when you were 17. Here is the piece of history most people forgot. This collection did not just sell well, it defined accessible luxury at the turn of the millennium. It hit its absolute cultural peak in the late 90s and early 2000s, right around the moment Elle Woods wore it in Legally Blonde in 2001. For a whole generation, the Return to Tiffany heart tag was the first real designer thing they ever owned. Now watch what is happening in the resale market. The everyday heart tags are common, so they behave like what they are. But the retired charms and the discontinued pieces from that exact window are a different story. Little enamel ladybugs, gift box charms, novelty pieces Tiffany stopped making, they are getting genuinely hard to find, and collectors are paying up for them. This ties straight back to the 2 full videos this channel already did on Tiffany, and the lesson is identical. The material is honest sterling. The name is real. But the collector premium lands hardest on the rare and the retired, not on the piece everybody still has in a drawer. Flip your old Tiffany silver over. Look for the 925 stamp and the clean hallmark. And if it is a shape Tiffany does not make anymore, you are not holding old jewelry. You are holding a small piece of a moment the market is now chasing. Number 6. Juicy Couture. Number 6 is pure, uncut 2000s nostalgia, and it is the piece you literally wore. Juicy Couture. Not the tracksuit, the jewelry. Specifically, the charm bracelets. That chunky silver-toned link chain with the toggle clasp, hung with tiny enameled charms, a crown, a heart padlock that said something cheeky, a little pink logo tag. Follow the logic of why this one is climbing. Juicy built the exact model this channel has broken down before. One bracelet, then a charm for every birthday, every holiday, every moment, until you had spent real money one little charm at a time. It was the same charm economy as the big brands, aimed at a teenager in 2004. And here is where it flips into a collectible. Those charms were sold in seasons and then retired forever. The common ones are affordable. But the rare retired charms, the odd novelty shapes that only existed for one season, are the ones collectors hunt now, and the strange ones command the strongest prices. There is a juicy takeout box charm that people specifically chase, and finding one still on its original tag turns a $5 bracelet into a real find. This is the heart of the Y2K wave. The people who wore Juicy at 15 are in their 30s now, with money to buy back their own childhood, and that is the engine under this entire market. If you have an old Juicy charm bracelet in a drawer, do not, you dare throw it out. Count the charms. Check for the retired ones. The bracelet was the cheap part. The charms are where the value quietly collected. If even one of these names just made you want to go dig through a drawer, do it, and hit subscribe while you are up, because we are about to cross out of nostalgia and into serious money. The next 4 names are where the numbers stop being cute and start being the kind of money that changes your week, and number 1 has sold for thousands off a single piece. Number 5, Chrome Hearts. Number 5 is where this list grows up fast. Chrome Hearts. Founded in Los Angeles in 1988, and this is the one that pulls in people who never cared about jewelry a day in their life, because Chrome Hearts is not fashion jewelry. It is heavy hand-cast sterling silver. Gothic crosses, daggers, fleur-de-lis, made in LA by hand, and worn by the entire rock and rap world from the very beginning. Here's what separates it from everything above it on this list. This is real metal with real weight, and the resale market treats it like it. Pieces routinely change hands on the secondary market for hundreds to well over $1,000, and the vintage 90s and 2000s archive pieces have seen the sharpest price jumps of the whole catalog over the last 5 years. Early crosses, early daggers, the classic paper chain, the keeper ring, collaborations, these do not depreciate the way fashion jewelry does. Collectors treat them like relics, not accessories. The catch, and it is a big one, is that Chrome Hearts is one of the single most faked brands on the planet. So this is where the fake versus real skills from this channel earn their keep. Real Chrome Hearts is heavy because it is genuine sterling. It carries crisp trademark stamps and a dagger scroll. The detail on a real piece is sharp and deep, and the fakes are light, soft, and mushy in the engraving. If a Chrome Hearts cross feels like it could float away in a breeze, it is not Chrome Hearts. Weight tells the truth here exactly like it does on a Cartier Love bracelet. If you own a real 90s piece, you are holding one of the strongest secondary markets in modern jewelry. Number 4, Gianni Versace. Number 4 crosses the ocean and steps into the designer tier, Gianni Versace. And I want to be specific because it matters. Gianni himself, the founder, the man behind the label until 1997. The 90s, the supermodel era, the gold, the drama, all of it. The single thing to hunt for is the Medusa. Versace first used the Medusa head as the house symbol in 1992, and it is stamped, embossed, and medallioned across the jewelry of that whole decade. Gold tone Medusa medallions, the Greek key border, heavy chunky charm bracelets, and clip earrings that feel substantial because they were built for the runway. On the resale market, this is genuinely collectible, and the numbers are real. Vintage Versace Medusa earrings average in the mid-hundreds and climb into the thousands for the rare and the archival, with exceptional pieces reaching into 5 figures. Here's the field check, and it is the same discipline from every video. Flip it. A genuine Gianni Versace piece is signed, usually right on the clasp or the back of the medallion, Gianni Versace, made in Italy. It has real weight in the hand. The Medusa detail is sharp, every snake in her hair defined. The fakes go soft and light, and the signature gets sloppy. And note the wording. It has to say Gianni Versace to be from the era collectors are chasing hardest. The house is still enormous today, but the pieces signed by the founder from the supermodel decade are the ones the market is quietly hunting. Number 3, Thierry Mugler. Number 3 is the connoisseur pick, the one most people have never thought of as collectible, which is exactly why it belongs here. Thierry Mugler. The French designer who defined 90s futurism, the wasp waist, the chrome, the sci-fi glamour, the man behind the angel perfume that took over the world. His jewelry is rare, it is sculptural, and it is unmistakable once you know the codes. The signature star, the angel motifs, barbed wire brooches, spiraling wire chokers set with crystals, pieces that look like they were forged for a science fiction film rather than a jewelry counter. Because Mugler made far less jewelry than Versace and made it stranger, the surviving pieces are scarce. On the secondary market, his brooches and cuffs regularly sit in the $600 to $900 range, and the rare star and angel sets climb from there. And this is the freshest reason of all on this entire list. Mugler as a house went through a massive revival. A whole new generation discovered the name through fashion and through celebrities wearing the vintage archive on red carpets, and that spotlight drags the old jewelry straight up in value with it. The field check is simple. Look for the embossed TM, or the full Thierry Mugler signature. Feel for that heavy sculptural French metalwork. If you find a silver star brooch or a barbed wire piece signed Mugler, you are holding a designer name the market is rediscovering in real time, and the jewelry is the last affordable door into it. Number 2. Chanel. Number 2 is a name you already know sits at the top of the costume jewelry world, but with a twist most people miss. Chanel. And pay attention here, because this is a different Chanel than the one from the vintage videos on this channel. That was the Gripois glass era, the older stuff. This is Chanel under Karl Lagerfeld through the 90s and 2000s, the logo maximalist era, the big interlocking double C, the chunky chain belts worn as necklaces, the oversized faux pearls, the quilted motifs, the double C turn locks the size of a coin. Here's why it sits this high. Chanel is the one name in costume jewelry where the pieces are treated like fine jewelry at auction, and the Lagerfeld era is squarely in the collector crosshairs now. Signed Chanel brooches from this period clear 4 figures with regularity. The chain pieces, the statement necklaces, the runway season pieces climb well beyond that. And unlike everything else on this list, Chanel has almost no floor, because the double C carries the weight of the most recognized name in fashion on earth, which is exactly why it is the most faked luxury name in the world, and why the back of the piece decides everything. Real Chanel from this era is signed on an oval or round cartouche. The signature in the season, sometimes a little copyright mark, and a year. The plating is deep, the pearls have real depth, the weight is there. A fake is light, the cartouche is wrong, the font is off. If you find a signed Lagerfeld era Chanel piece with the right stamp, you are not holding costume jewelry in the throwaway sense at all. You are holding the second most valuable signature in this entire video. Number 1, Christian Dior. And number 1, the crown, the name that turns a drawer piece into an auction headline. Christian Dior. And specifically, the John Galliano era from 1996 through 2011. Here's why Dior takes the top spot over even Chanel. Dior costume jewelry from the 40s through the 70s has been collected for decades. That market is old news. But collectors have now pushed forward into the Galliano years, and that is the part the wider internet has not caught up to yet. When Galliano ran Dior, drama was the entire point. Safety pin earrings crusted with crystals, the Masai multi-strand necklaces, logo chokers, star motifs, the bicycle chain pieces, saddle-era hardware. Wild, theatrical, unmistakably of its moment. And the numbers are already here. A Galliano-era Dior necklace has sold at auction in the $4,000 range. Individual Galliano Dior earrings, the safety pin styles, the star-pierced pieces regularly sit around and above $1,000 each on the vintage market. And the collector guides say the quiet part out loud. The late 90s Galliano pieces are the undervalued opportunity, strong design, growing interest, and prices that have not fully caught up yet. That last line is the whole reason this video exists. Here is the field check, and it is the best authentication trick on this entire list. Dior often stamped the piece with a signature and a year, Future Dior, and a date. That dated signature is a gift, because it is unusual in costume jewelry, and it pins the piece to the exact era collectors want. Flip your old Dior over. If you see that signature, and especially if it carries a 90s or 2000s date from the Galliano window, you may be holding the single most underpriced designer name of the whole decade, sitting in a drawer, waiting for someone to read the back. So what ties all 8 of these together? The same thing that tied the boomer names and the 70s and 80s names together in the other videos. In their own moment, this jewelry was everywhere, and nobody treated it as precious, which is exactly why the signed survivors are becoming valuable now that the clock has turned. But let me be straight with you, the way this channel always is, because I am not here to hand you a fantasy. This market is young, it is moving, but it has not settled, and that cuts both ways. Condition is everything. A damaged piece from a great name is still a damaged piece. Rarity is everything. A common charm is not a rare one, no matter whose logo is on it. And on the biggest names, chrome hearts, Chanel, Dior, Versace, the fakes are relentless. So the truly valuable pieces deserve a real expert's eyes and the authentication checks from the fake versus real work on this channel before anyone spends serious money. Checking costs you nothing. Being wrong the other way, tossing a signed Dior or a real chrome hearts cross in a donation bag costs you everything. So here's the strategy. For pure nostalgia at almost no cost, Betsey Johnson and your old juicy charms hand you back your own 2000s for pocket change, and that is a fine reason to keep them. For real material you can wear and hold value. Tiffany silver and chrome hearts are honest metal with honest markets. And for the collecting that genuinely climbs, Versace, Mugler, Chanel, and above all, Galliano-era Dior are where this market is quietly waking up right now, ahead of the crowd. The whole secret lives on the back of the piece. Turn it over, read the name, and a chunky old 2000s thing everyone dismissed becomes chrome hearts or Versace, or the one that says Dior. People lose real money every single week selling these by the bagful to whoever offers the fastest cash, never once flipping them over to see what they actually have. Do not sell it, do not donate it, do not scrap it until you have turned every single piece over and read the back. Now go do it, right now, and tell me in the comments which of these 8 signatures you found on the back of something in your own house. Describe the piece. I read every one. And whatever you do not sell before you check. This channel takes no sponsorships and no paid placements. No brand, no dealer, no auction house pays to be praised or buried here, and that independence is the only reason I can hand you these names straight. If straight answers like this are why you keep coming back, the join button below makes you a member and keeps these breakdowns honest. Flip everything over before it leaves your house. Because the name on the back is the only thing that ever really decided what it was worth. I will see you in the next one.